Camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
Buying time to his left. And he rifles one incomplete.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game. Watching him try to take away that area of the field.
But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Here's Hurts to throw. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Hurts fighting Goddard there. First down, Philadelphia. The Eagles have 1-3 here in the early part of the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they he
rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass. So that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
11 yards and a Cowboy first down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And a nice job there skipping away from the one tackle and ends up getting 5 yards out of that. Second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. They go to Elliott again. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They got 5 through the air last play, now 5.
Splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Throwing, Prescott. Another one to CeeDee Lamb. He's got it. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And that's going to bring up the 4th down. And just on Wednesday, he was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week for that over 100-yard performance he had last week.
Deservedly so, and I enjoyed our time with him and asked him how he got it done. What did he see? And he said film study, watching what the defenses were going to present, understanding how to defeat those. And then he was a step ahead because he said they're going to change up and counter another way. And he beat them that way, too.
They opt to go for it, and they get it. 1st and goal after a pickup of 5. Here's Prescott. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
Well, that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through. And that's a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
Throwing is Hurts. Throw left side complete. That's Sanders. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up the 1st down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
They go play action with Hurts. Being chased out left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
It sort of looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Hurts. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A.J. Brown from 17 yards out. And the Eagles are an extra point away from drawing level. Elliott good with a PAT. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a 1st down on the play. A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
A first down throw for Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Dak dropping this one off for Zeke, and he is out of bounds inside the 30. So the completion good for just 3. And 3rd and 8 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 14. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 2nd and 7, Prescott able to hit his target, Lamb. Touchdown! 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Lambeau to add on the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. So remember, Charles, last time they were out here, they scored, but they just saw the opposition score, and they're trailing. This is intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to have it here just past the 25. That one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there, and he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now it's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Play action now. Prescott sliding out of the pocket. Open man Lamb. It's complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10, forced out to his left. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they...
And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Tenth carry now for Elliott. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Up the middle they go. Shirley. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. The kick by Lambeau is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Prescott on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Brian Anger now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Taken from just outside the 30. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got him. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to cut into that deficit. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead down to 10, 24-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. They start on the ground with Elliott. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He'll go underneath here to Elliott. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down, because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
2nd and 5. Off the play fake, Prescott. And a big loss here as he's taken down. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Hassan Reddick drops him again for the second straight play, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the second time. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
On first down, Hurts. He delivers another to Goddard, complete. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. 2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Hurts throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Smith catches left side. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that will bring up second down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Channing Tindall. And the Cowboys are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Well, Charles, you got a quarterback out of the pocket trying to make a play, and you get it, but instead he ends up throwing it to the other team.
And, partners, we know to be successful in this league, number one, you're going to have to be able to make plays on the perimeter or when the pocket breaks down. But number two, you've got to make smart decisions with the football. And that time, that simply was not a smart decision.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 23 yards on the play.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
On the move past the 40. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 24 yards the gain there. Another first down as well. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Boy, that one was well read defensively. And this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
Flush to his right. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Elliott now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And now this fourth quarter becoming very interesting. That pick-6 makes this a one-score game. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how aggressive they choose to be. Back to it after the pick-6. Prescott. Open man downfield is Lamb. It's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That one good for 37 yards. And that last throw, CD, going to move him even further up that all-time passing leaderboard as he just moved beyond Broadway Joe Namath at 27,663 yards.
And that's impressive because Joe Namath, my goodness, he could throw a football. I mean, it was just gorgeous the way he threw it. Rallied his Jets to a Super Bowl win, one of the greatest upsets in NFL history. Broadway Joe, the man.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Working with a 2nd and 3. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Open man, right side, it's Lamb. And they're going to be set up now with a ball at the 13-yard line. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Prescott. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Only able to gain a couple there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the first down. So you've got to think, if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker. Prescott to throw on 4th. Escaping the pressure right. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. From 10 yards out. And the Cowboys get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Lambeau on for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10. Hurts throw complete there to Smith. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Brandon, I think he's just grateful to get back to the line of scrimmage and avoid not just losing yardage, but a big hit on that play as well. That defense closed on him quick and forced a quick surrender out of bounds.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Smith. And the Eagles are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. He'll buy some time right. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Cowboys are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles. They move it down the field well. Cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here because they were sharp in moving it down the field. But sometimes you start thinking like a touchdown is a given, and it doesn't always work out that way as we saw there.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
4th quarter, holding on to a lead. Fullback carry, 3 or 4 yards. I guess that's what you're looking for.
And it just brings back memories for me because I remember my coaches in this situation. I remember one time my head coach into his headset telling the offensive coordinator, I want the big boy carrying the ball. And that's what you have in this spot. Him covering up on the ball, taking care of it, and grinding out yardage.
Prescott able to get down there at the end on the slide, and he has the first as well. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Now Prescott steps away to his left. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is second and less than a yard. Oh, Prescott here to throw. On the move to his left. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The Dallas passing game definitely in sync. They've got another first down.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
Dancing to his left. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. So it's a win here for the Cowboys, and it was Dak Prescott, their quarterback, who really led the charge.
Yeah, he had a tremendous night throwing the football, wound up with 4 touchdown passes. He had in his mind early that he was going to go into attack mode, and he sure was successful.
So for the Cowboys, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they will be back home next week for a date with the Washington Commanders. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.